not know what the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority does, it is an organization which ensures market integrity. We are regulators, therefore we do not sell products nor endorse anybody who does. By law, anybody who sells stocks, bonds, and mutual funds in the United States must be a member of us, and they pay us dues, and in return we regulate them, we examine them, we investigate them, and we can also throw them out of the business. So that is how we're funded, and we are a member of the Department of Defense Financial Readiness Campaign. Now, throughout today, you have been given lots of information from many organizations who have really told you all about finances in the military. What I'm going to do is now talk to you about some of the resources that are available to you, both for yourself, for your families, and for your units and fellow soldiers and airmen. What we at the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority did was we set up a military project, and as a result we have come up with a number of tools to help everybody deal with their finances. And our catchphrase is, we want you to manage your money with confidence. In that respect, what we've set up is a website, and we have various publications and various other tools and programs that will help you and your units meet that objective. First, we have an online resource center, which is our website, and it is saveandinvest.org. And what we have there is a military center as well as a fraud center. Now, I recommend that you go to this particular website because everything on the website is non-commercial and totally unbiased. I would like to draw your attention to the free credit score and analysis section here, which will allow you to get your free credit score as well as a free credit report. And I'll show you how to do that later on in the presentation. We also have other tools on this particular website, including a savings calculator, retirement calculator, things that previous speakers have talked about earlier on today, as well as something called broker check. Because everybody by law who sells stocks, bonds, mutual funds must be a member of us, we have their record. And if you want to work with a financial professional who sells any of those products, we recommend that you check them through broker check and decide whether or not you wish to have them work with you, or if you wish to work with them. One of the stories I tell is, if you're thinking about hiring a babysitter, you would probably look at that person's resume and check and see what qualifications and what their background might be. Now, as you read this thing, you might say, well, gee, what happened here? And the person says to you, well, sir, ma'am, don't worry, I beat that manslaughter charge 2 years ago. Now, what is the likelihood that you would actually hire that person to be your babysitter? Well, the same thing here. When you're talking about working with a financial professional, you probably would like to know something about their background. And we will provide that with broker check. We also produce military publications. Many of you may be familiar with this particular publication, Money and Mobility, which we have sent out to numerous units as well as individuals for free. And what it does is it focuses on financial issues around deployments and PCSs, and it addresses issues that are relevant to all components, active, guard, as well as reserve. There are many different sections, including SCRA, which was mentioned earlier today, and we talk about credit reports, scores, scams, etc., as well as the Military Lending Act and various other important topics that are relevant to the military and finances. Many of you already know how to order these publications from us, and we will tell you later on as well how to do it today. Another thing we do is we believe in military personnel helping other military personnel regarding finances, especially personal finances. We understand that many people are left behind, spouses that is, when their service member deploys. Myself, I'm a retired Army officer. I'm well aware of deployments as well as movements. What we did was we set up something called the Military Spouse Fellow. And every year for the past several years, we've selected 200 military spouses to become a FINRA Foundation Military Spouse Fellow. What does a Military Spouse Fellow do? Well, first, that particular fellow will take two different courses. One, a course on personal finance, and a second course, financial counseling and debt management. The second course really focuses on how to counsel people and tells them about public agencies, credit cards and credit reports and so on, all those topics that are of particular importance to not only military folks but civilians as well in terms of personal finance. And graduates have been very, very successful. We fund this particular program, and it is taught by the AFCPE, which is the instructional as well as the accrediting agency for accredited financial counselors. So at the end of the program, a military spouse fellow will become an accredited financial counselor. And they have served in many positions and continue to serve in many positions, including as personal financial managers at military community centers, either in the civil service or as contract employees, financial readiness program managers in the Army Community Services, Fleet and Family Support Centers, and so on, directors and caseworkers at military aid societies, as well as counselors at military serving organizations such as Navy Mutual Aid. And of course, many of them volunteer their financial counseling and consumer credit counseling services through family readiness groups in pre-deployment, post-deployment briefings, and so on. The whole idea here was to help seed the military community with some knowledgeable go-to people who actually know where to go for unbiased financial information and advice.